Hello, can you hear me? All right, just testing this out. Hold on a second here. Hello? All right, guys, so we're in the middle of testing out my VC with an LOV here. But she apparently cannot hear me. So this is going to be an interesting beginning to the show.
I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to come back. I think I know what it is.
Okay. So she's going to be coming back live. I'm going to roll the intro. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because this is strange. What a weird way to start the show. All right, let's roll the intro.
I can hear you now.
I'm in the middle of the intro.
Okay, that's fine. I'll turn my your volume down too high. Okay. Can you see me okay?
Yeah, but everybody can hear us while the intro is rolling. Yeah, and I can see your background. It's ridiculous. You know, the thing is, I don't know if everybody knows about your URL, but I've been trying to tell people.
Yeah, you might want to post it in the
I already did. I'm way ahead of you.
Why are you so loud? Hold on. Say something again now.
Yeah.
That's much better. Much better. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I rolled the wrong intro anyway. So hold on. Let me just load this presentation.
Okay.
Give me a second here. And there we are. And there's your... Okay, so we're here. All right, let me just put in a little background music here. Hey, D-Melon.
I can't see chat, so put the new link in.
Just go to vapingundergroundlive.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and it ports to the new one. To the new.
Okay.
So I need to. So, what's up with this? What's with this background? What's with this this hat? What's going on here?
You're so funny.
Gotta rub it in my face the next 2 weeks, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
All right. So I mean, I want to start out the hour, but like, I don't necessarily want to talk about vaping all the time. I mean, like, I know we talk about vaping a lot, but do you know what kind of irks me? All right, is that I mean, we all know Theodore Roosevelt, right? He became president because unfortunately in 1901, President McKinley got assassinated, right? President William McKinley got assassinated. So he was sworn into the office, but he managed to, he managed to do a lot, considering it was like the beginning of the century. Oh yeah, D-Millen, yeah, the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. It's the Patriots versus the Falcons. So it's funny because LOV lives in Atlanta, but she's a hardcore Patriots fan. So it's like,
that's right.
It's gonna be weird at her job going in every day.
Oh my God, people have been leaving me mean notes and looks, and it's crazy.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm serious.
Oh boy. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. Going back to what I was saying. Right. D-Millen. So Theodore Roosevelt started the whole national park system. okay, during his tenure as president. Now, he was a staunch Republican, and but regardless of the fact he was Republican, and at the time, there was a lot going on. We didn't have all 50 states yet. I mean, not even. I mean, I don't even think Arizona and New Mexico were states yet at that time. Correct me if I'm wrong, or they just became states around the time of Theodore Roosevelt. But anyway, during his tenure, he doubled the amount of national parks in the country. All right, so and not only that, to promote national parks, he actually spent 2 weeks going around the country and promoting and camping out at national parks the whole time. He literally slept under the stars. Three of the nights. He like out in the open, not even a tent. Yosemite Valley. Obviously Yellowstone, the Grand Canyon. I mean, he was the guy that started these national parks. It's really fascinating to see the amount about, like, that was to him, his whole thing was about the outdoors. Hey, April. His whole thing was about the outdoors. That was his passion for life. I mean, granted, he did stuff that not everybody is agreeable with. Like, he did a lot of hunting also. He was instrumental in the U.S. winning the Spanish-American War. He actually was instrumental in saving the Philippines from Spanish oppression. And then we in turn made them, they were in it for, I don't know if people knew this, but for what, I think almost 60 years, the United States and the Philippines had the same kind of relationship as the United States and Puerto Rico. I mean, it was pretty much a colony. So, I mean, at the time, I mean, if history had come around in a different light, the Philippines could have been a state instead of its own country. It would have been weird, but it's true. Anyway, the reason why I'm bringing that up. Well, no, Wan Chung. I'm not putting down hunters at all. People need to hunt to eat. There are people right now that live out in the wild, off the grid.
Yep.
And they need to hunt to survive. Okay? They need to yeah. And what D. Millen says, exactly. I mean, like, so anyway. Our new president decided during his first few days, first to silence the EPA, which is responsible for keeping these national parks public, meaning that any U.S. citizen, if you are a citizen of the United States, you have the right to go to any of these national parks and enjoy the splendor of its beauty, its untouched beauty. Okay? But this is the thing. Our new POTUS is a businessman. Okay? He's a businessman. He makes deals. They just announced today that he's willing to work with the Russians if they wipe out ISIS with him. If they quote unquote flip sides and work with the United States to eliminate ISIS as a threat in the world, that all the sanctions that they put on Russia, he's going to lift. Oh boy. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You heard that, right? You heard that, LV?
Heard what, my dog?
No, you heard about that, about what he said about Russia. He's willing to give.
I haven't been on the news at all today, okay. So I usually try to catch up in the evening. But
okay, right. And then in terms of the EPA, who is in charge? Who is like the overseeing committee that to oversee? It's the overseeing committee that in terms of environmental and conservation efforts that are happening not only in the United States but in countries that they have a vested interest in. He silenced them. He silenced them this week. He prohibited them from using their Twitter accounts. He put a gag order on them, and now people are thinking that he's moving towards reversing everything that Theodore Roosevelt did as his president a mere 112 years later, which is he wants to privatize national parks. Meaning what D. Millen said.
A minefield. You just see what he just wrote?
Oh boy. So what this means is if he figures out some way to privatize national parks, that means if you go into, let's say, Yellowstone Park, not only because people are allowed to camp there and do this other stuff, you have to get permits, but you cannot disturb the land, meaning that whatever you take with you into the park, you have to leave with you. So with the exception, I guess, it depends on the park or the area of the park. So if there's an area of the park where, there are public restrooms and stuff like that, then you can take care of your, number 1 and 2 there. But if you're venturing into a part of a national park, right, where there aren't any facilities, that means whatever you bring in, you have to take out. So that means you kind of have to scoop yourself, so to speak. Okay. Yeah. Now, by privatizing, if in fact this happens during his tenure as the POTUS, if he figures out a way to privatize national parks, that means if you roll into a national park, right, the fee that you pay to go in, okay, that goes to the United States and it goes to the conservation of the park to keep it in its natural pristine state. But by privatizing national parks, that means that, oh yeah, you have to, Mang Chung, you'd have to. By privatizing national parks, that means that, let's say, Walmart, Hilton, a lot of these commercial private companies can actually put bids on parcels of land within the national parks. So when you roll in to a national park, you're going to see Hilton Yellowstone. Then you're going to start seeing casinos, Trump Casino and Hotel Yellowstone.
Come on, how do you know this?
No. I'm just telling you what the possibilities can be.
Those are possibilities.
If a national
yes,
park gets privatized. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it would open up the United States to start auctioning off parcels of land within these national parks.
Right, Wayne. It's not going to happen.
So private companies can go in and take advantage of it. It's like, oh man, Yellowstone's already a really popular park. We're gonna totally take advantage of it. So that's less advertising dollars for us. All you have to do is put up a hotel across the street as a freaking Applebee's. So people can go into the national park, check out some moose, eat some Applebee's, sleep in a nice, comfortable hotel room at night.
Wow. Well, I don't know if I told you this, but I have a cousin who's a news reporter, and she's in Arizona, and she's actually covering the story about building the wall in Arizona. So she sends the family a few clips here and there of stuff, and it's not going to be easy. There's no way. I mean, this woman is her story's not out yet, but once it goes out, I'll share it. But it's going to be pretty hard for him to try to build a wall through certain areas because some of the land is sacred, so he can't do it. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just when it comes. Are you talking about the you're talking about building a wall through you're talking through reservations.
Mm-hmm. Through reservations, but also there are certain areas that you can't build a wall. You just can't. What do they call that? Something about the ground. It's really bad. They showed a couple of videos already on it, and there's they have those little small barbed wire fences because they can't build on that land. So I didn't finish watching her whole video yet, but I'll share it.
So,
with you.
it's potentially unstable ground that could develop into sinkholes
yes,
if you were to build into it.
Desert area, mountain area. That's right. So there's no way it's going to be a I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Right. I mean, we're
Quicksand,
in
right?
the first week. We're in the first week of the new presidency, and forget the first 100 days. The first 5 days.
Oh yeah, the first 5 days has been crazy. But I'm with Dave Miller and Quicksand. Would you like to see him break ground? You know, be there cutting the ribbon, and he just sinks right in. Dave Miller. Oh my God.
It's
so
absolutely blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind. Now, here's the thing. All right. In lieu of the creation of jobs, let me explain to you. I mean, I read a lot about the whole when it comes to the creation of jobs and the whole mentality of how different people or corporations perceive the splendor of their grace when it comes to job creation, okay? In pre-Civil War times, okay? Now, let's say a person
wanted... By the way, not all illegals are bad. Come on, man. That's not a true statement.
Well, okay, Wang Chung, not all illegals are bad. I mean, just like Indian... All right, here's an interesting fact. I'm not kidding. Henry Rollins was just if anybody knows anything about Henry Rollins, he was a musician. He was he was the lead singer of Black Flag and later into Henry R. Rollins.
Wait. Why is DeMillen dropping off? What's bugging you, DeMillen? She said her blood is boiling.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, listen. So Henry Rollins is basically... He's known as a jack of all trades. He was a musician. He's an excellent host. He hosted shows in the past, radio shows. He actually just recently took over, substituted for Iggy Pop, because Iggy Pop has a radio show. So Iggy Pop took a vacation, and Henry Rollins was on it. So I happened to catch one of those radio shows where he was hosting. He was talking about he lives his life almost like a nomad, okay? And basically he would pick a country and spend, it could be, let's say if he has 5 days between one gig and another, he would pick a country, go to that country. It could be, and he used Mongolia as an example. He would spend the first 2 days in Mongolia with with a tour guide. And because he's so cerebral, he wants to extract as much information as he can from this tour guide, he gets down to the nitty-gritty. He starts off with what are the best places to see, what's the significance of going to this one area over this area. Then he starts getting to the nitty-gritty. So what's going on with the unrest in the government in your country? Are there people that are trying to rise above the government right now? So he managed to convince this tour guide within a period of 2 days, because at first she wouldn't say anything about what's going on in the government. She wouldn't even give her opinion. Within 2 days, she's introducing him in a bar, right, or a restaurant bar, right, 2 hours away from the main city, who is the head of the resistance movement to try to overthrow the government of Mongolia. He managed to convince this tour guide in 2 days, not only to give her opinion, but so he's sitting here in a room with the guy who's trying to figure out a way to revolt against the Mongolian government, overthrow them, because they want more of a democratic society instead of Mongolia. Mongolia basically selling their soul to every single private company to extract whatever resources are available in Mongolia. And I think the head company is actually a corporation out of Canada that's taking all their copper, all their silver, whatever, all their natural resources and shipping them overseas. So the government gets the chunk of this money. They're barely giving anything back to the Mongolian people, and they're keeping most of the profits to themselves. So yeah, there's a reason. Hey, what's up, Milo?
Hello,
so there
Milo.
is a reason for there to be revolution in the country of Mongolia. Now, here's the thing. Speaking of which, when it comes to world travel, so Henry Rollins basically was talking about how he's been to over 100 countries around the world because he would do little things like this in between gigs. You know? Well, it's not just China, okay? If they are sold to China, there's a Canadian company that works through China to get as many of their exploit their resources, okay? So, here's the thing. The point I'm trying to make is that Henry Rollins said in over 100 countries that he visited around the world. You know, we have this perception of like some of the worst countries to visit around the world, like Somalia, Pakistan, right? You know, certain countries in the Middle East. What he talked about on his show, just this one show, he talked about how it was incredible how the generosity of people he came across in his travels, right? All of this incredible generosity and friendliness and kindness that he came across foreigners in all these other so-called dangerous countries to go to, when the only time his life was ever threatened, his entire life, was in the United States. One time he got shot at and his friend was killed 5 feet away from him because they robbed him, and then it was a robbery gone wrong. Then the guy started shooting at him, killed his friend. It was one of his closest friends, and he sat there and you know, this is like in the early 90s, like 25 years ago, so it was like pre-cell phone. So, you know, his friend died in his arms. And then the other time was another time that he got shot at, and luckily it missed him. So he was talking about how he would be in Pakistan. Okay, he would be in Pakistan, and all the people can say to him, because when the Indian Prime Minister got assassinated, correct me if I'm wrong, he was in Pakistan while that happened. Or was it the Pakistani Prime Minister? I apologize. Hey, Tater. Anyway, an official within Pakistan got assassinated. He said he was within like 5 miles of where it happened. And all people could say to him was, "We're so sorry that you have to see our country like this." There weren't people bothering him because he was an American or anything. People weren't being racist towards him. We're in Pakistan right now. So it goes to show how our society, how this country is perceiving the outside world. When, you know, it almost scares people into not going into certain areas of the world. Now, don't get me wrong. There could be some
places I want to go to.
I'm just saying, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are places that are certifiably dangerous. But just because our government tells us that it's dangerous doesn't necessarily mean we have to completely believe it. It's like we should do a little bit of digging and research, because there's so many beautiful things to see in this world.
Yeah,
why should we let?
Dangerous.
Yeah. Why should we let domestic propaganda dictate where we go, or where we should visit? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It is a flawed democracy, Dolores. It is. It is. But you know what? The country voted for change, and we are beginning to see that change almost immediately. But let me just let you in on something. I'm not trying to choose sides here. I'm not telling you which way to think, okay? But let me just paint you a little bit of a picture, okay? The Dakota Access Line, all the shit that was going on up in the Dakotas, whose administration started it? Who initially said, okay, let's build?
Reagan.
Wasn't the Trump administration.
It was Reagan, wasn't it?
No. The Obama administration gave the okay initially to build the Dakota Access Line, regardless if it was going through Native American sacred land or not. They originally, he gave the files. All the shit that was going on was happening during towards the end of Obama's administration, but they did.
But it began a lot sooner than that.
Well, when it comes to building these access lines, wasn't just the Dakota Access, and when it started to building these access lines, Yes, it started in the 90s. Okay, you're right. I'm not saying, but I'm saying the height of it, like, you know, where it finally brought resonance in national news, world news, was towards the end of the Obama administration, right? So, what did he do? He did something extremely smart. The Obama administration did something extremely smart. They're like, you know what? We're going to say no. We're going to halt the Dakota Access Line. It's towards the end of my presidency. I'm going to look like an awesome person. And now I'm going to throw all the shit in the new POTUS, towards the new POTUS, right? So, so he decides to do these sneaky little things towards the end of his presidency, like halt the Dakota Access Line, to, you know, in his last day of presidency, tries to quietly give the Palestinians $221 million, knowing that the new POTUS is going to reverse all this stuff that he did, make him look like an asshole.
Your volume, I can't hear you. You're muted.
What do you mean I'm muted?
I couldn't hear you for a second.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh. Okay.
I was just reading what you were saying. And like, you're passionate about this. I mean, like, I'm surprised that you're not discussing this. I mean, the reason why I'm just bringing it up,
because you know what, a lot of people, and you know, Deadbird, you know, said it already. A lot of people can't. They either hate Trump or don't hate Trump. Or don't. I'm not talking.
I'm just talking.
I know,
about
but
facts.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking facts here. I'm not talking.
No. I understand that, but I think that a lot of people are tired of hearing this. So I never
really talked about it.
I don't know, and not necessarily you, but in general.
Usually, I mean, this is what Rhino does. Rhino's the political guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
and either they want to watch it or they don't. So I think that people are just trying to not come and listen to it on a vape show. I think that's what they're saying. That's all.
I just find it fascinating because nothing like this has ever happened before.
Absolutely, I find it fascinating too. But you know,
that's why I need your opinions on this. I mean, like, isn't it fascinating?
It's very interesting, Rich. It really is. But I think
it's literally dividing our country. It's crazy.
There's so much more dividing this country. It's not necessarily what's happening in North Dakota. So there's much, much more.
I know. That's why I talked about these other things that were happening within the first 5 days. I find it fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And you know what, though? This is what we did, man. We did this to ourselves.
We did. I guess you could say that.
We did this to ourselves.
Okay. So what else you got on your topic list and the agenda? What else you got to cover tonight?
You know, there are 10 questions that people always ask vapers when they first start off. And here's the thing. The majority of the vaping community is so egotistical to the point of they feel that if you don't understand basics when it comes to vaping, you don't deserve their time to explain it to you. I've come across that a lot in a lot of, like, I just hopped around vaping shows on different domains to see basically the attitudes of hosts when it comes to people coming in and asking questions. You almost have a lot of animosity within the other chatters. Like, they kind of look at it as like, oh, how dare you ask a question like that? Like, how do you fill a tank? How do you fill it up? Like, this is a cigarette and it has a hole here. How do I fill this up so that I can get more nicotine out of it? Questions like that, and people are going off, and it's like, dude, don't you know anything? Don't you read ECF? Don't you read Vaping Underground Live Forum? You know, instead of putting the effort into chastising a new vapor and making them feel completely alienated from the rest of the community, why don't you have a little bit of compassion?
I agree with that. Not everybody knows everything, and not everybody is savvy with the internet or YouTube and know where all these places are where they can go get the information. So.
All right. Well, sorry. Like somebody was saying that somebody's mom's trying to ask a question. Sure. What is your
question?
No.
CL mom is asking you a question, but she doesn't know whether she can ask the question in the room.
Well, go ahead. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if it's vaping related or whatnot, go ahead. What's
MJ's
up, MJ?
Here. How you doing, MJ?
See, it's different. What I talked about was different from Rhino. Rhino really breaks down. He does his 2 hours, whole 2 hours, and talks about politics like 90% of the time, vaping 10%.
Yeah. CL mom, ask your question.
You know, but yeah, I found it unbelievable that people were attacking new vapers in chat rooms.
Now, what room was that at? You know,
I don't want. I'm not
okay.
gonna. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna out anybody because I don't want people to start hating on them. You know, I won't even tell you. Yeah, because I don't want to. Yeah, I just found it incredible. I just don't understand why is it that there's a. I'm not saying every vapor is like that. Okay, I'm not saying that at all. I am saying, however, that there's a certain like elitist population. There's certain elitist population in the vaping community that literally thinks that way.
Well,
and I mean, like, it's just simple questions. You know, I never had cancer. I had a benign tumor in my occipital lobe. When I had a biopsy in January of.
Wow, Miss CL Mom, you threw me for a loop there. I thought it was going to be a fake question.
So I did not have cancer.
It was benign, so thank God.
Yeah, it was. I had a benign tumor that was yeah. Hey, Rustica. What do you mean?
Hi,
Tower from Kingston? No,
hello,
no.
Rustica.
I'm not in Kingston anymore. I moved. Yeah.
You know what? I've never seen Wang here before. Is he? Are you a new chatter? Has he been around for a while?
It don't matter. It's nice to have people in here.
No, it's great.
You're in Kingston? What, did you take my place?
Oh, he's a troll. Okay, thanks, Dolores. Well, you know what? Kingston is probably the most. Oh my God, it's such a boring town. I mean, it's crazy.
What?
Kingston, I
showed you the mean streets of Kingston. I gave you the whole tour.
Yeah, all I saw was senior citizen crossing the street with the little walkers. That was the most I seen out there when I was there. So.
Oh my God, she's totally trolling my old, like where I used to live. I lived in Kingston for 6 years. Anyway, for those who don't know, I'm talking about Kingston, New York. No, I know you, Ann Rustica. I've known you for a long time. It's not uncomfortable. I never had. Knock on wood. I never had cancer to the cancer.
No. I didn't get upset over the question either, CL Mom. I really thought you were going to ask a vaping question. That's all. You just threw me for a little loop.
No,
baby, he's fine.
Old school vapors knew about my situation back in the day when I first started broadcasting. I broadcasted for a while, and then I had to give up my show for about 5 months because I was going through treatments to try to shrink. Because I refused for them to operate on my skull. I was extremely scared of it, so I took alternative treatments in order to shrink up.
Rustica, they weren't calling you a troll. I think they were calling Wang a troll.
Yeah, I mean, mine was located in the back of my occipital. It was like almost twice the size. It's like the size of like 2 golf balls.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Rustica. Really am.
Yeah. I had treatments for almost a year on that. Yeah, I had treatments for almost a year on that, and I never wanted my broadcast always to focus on myself. When people would ask, I would tell them. But yeah, it was thank God, God spared me the second time. Because I mean, I technically should have died in 1992, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not going to really delve into the story, except that I got into a car accident that I should have died in. It took a lot of rehab and a long stint in the hospital. Yeah.
They're just teasing, Wayne. They're just teasing you, that's all.
So it was 1992 and 2013. Those are 2 years that I always remember, because that's twice that I probably should have been taken. But I guess you know, there's a higher power that thinks that I should stick around for a while longer.
You see, wait a minute. Did you say higher power?
Yes.
All right.
I don't want to say the other thing because you know what I would say.
Higher power. That's right, Rich.
Wang Chung, I never called you a troll.
No, you didn't call him a troll. Somebody else said it, but I think everybody was. They were just kidding. It's no big deal.
So what I want to do, if you would indulge me, hon, is I want to talk about the 10 most asked questions that people ask when they're starting out in vaping. Okay.
A lot of people want to know the difference between wattage and voltage. That's one of the questions.
Well, no, I actually have a list. I have a list.
Oh, go ahead then.
All right, and we could address your question first. Here's a good question. What is the difference between wattage and voltage? Baby?
I asked the question. I want the answer.
Okay. Voltage is like how much. Let's see. Trying to figure this out. What's the best way to put it? Okay, a volt. It's basically the amount of force of electricity that you put into the addy. So let's say you let's say if you have a device that works on voltage, okay, so it measures the amount of power that you're putting into an atomizer, you know, a coil, through, and it measures it through the amount of pressure of the electricity that's pushing through that filament, you know, that coil.
Right.
So let's say you say 4.5 volts. Okay, that's the measurement of pressure that's being put into the coil. Now wattage. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to figure this out. What's the best way to put this?
Tough question, huh?
Now with wattage, I believe is it measures the amount of the amount of electric power that's being utilized in order to fire up that certain filament.
That guy's funny.
No, I'm just trying to explain it. You know, because I mean, people always think, what's the difference? Mostly the question would be, what's the difference between voltage, wattage, and amperage? You know. Yeah. So like with amp is just a simple measurement for like measuring electricity. So it's basically like, you know, let's say with a provider, right? It's like you can't go over 2 amps on a coil without the device cutting it off, because it doesn't want to put more than 2 amps of energy on that coil.
But that coil is 1.28 ohms, right? Talking to Red Chick here.
Well, you mean ohms? We're talking about Ohm's law, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Ohm's law is basically the difference between the conductor, you know, like the source of the energy, in proportion to the current that runs through it. So let's say you're measuring like how much consistent energy is running through that coil. You know.
Excuse me.
Right. I mean, most advanced vapors, almost all advanced vapors, rely on Ohm's law in order, to come up with, the measurement of how to build their coils. So you really do need to understand, the amount of resistance you're putting on the coil, right? The amount of resistance to put on the coil so that you're vaping within safe parameters. However, there's a lot of cloud chasers out there who don't believe, who believe they could push the limit on Ohm's law, like it doesn't exist or something. Like, for example, that idiot that blew his face off a few weeks back, that everybody saw the news about. He posted pictures of his face, how he's in the hospital, how he had like burn marks all over like the one side of his face.
I didn't see that. Yeah, oh my God, what happened?
Well, what people don't realize is that he built his coil, or quote unquote, he had somebody at a shop build his coil at 0.06 ohms.
Wow.
And he was using batteries that were over a year old, that probably the tops of the wraps were pretty much ripped off. So there was no protection on the battery. So basically, if he had taken the time to just rewrap his batteries and to put a safe resistance, like 0.06, that's less than 0.1 ohm.
Wow.
0.06. And not only that, apparently, if you looked at the pictures and see how old the cotton was on it, the guy didn't change his cotton, like it looked like 6 months.
Wow.
Was
he a young kid?
No, he looked like he was in his like 20s or 30s, like maybe late 20s. I mean,
wow.
I'm not necessarily blaming him per se. I'm more pissed off, which brings me back to my original point here, how there are people who can give him the right information within the vaping community and vaping industry, but there are people who are so, who think a certain way, despite the fact that there are safety measures in place when it comes to battery safety, how to build your coil safely, stay within like safe resistance parameters to get the desired effect you want. Because a person, look, I have a 0.5 ohm coil in here. Okay, you could still blow massive clouds if you want to, But for God's sakes, do you really need to blow out the amount that comes out of an industrial plant to prove a point?
Crazy.
Well, here's the thing, Red Chick. That's what happened. He claimed that somebody at a shop built it for him.
No way. Really?
That's what he claimed.
I'm pretty sure it must have been a customer. I don't think somebody that worked at the shop would have done it, because you can't do it.
Yeah, it's not clear. When he was discussing it.
Yeah, because if he says that the shop did it, that shop is going to be fined, or it's going to be in trouble, seriously. But
yeah, you can get a lot of. For example, here I am. Here's a K fund. I have this K fund set at 1 ohm. 1 ohm. Okay. Mouth to lung. I don't even need direct lung. The whole purpose to vaping, that a lot of people, this is weird because there are a lot of people that come into Vaping Babe that weren't even smokers. They think it's a cool thing to blow clouds. So it's good for the industry because it's increasing the amount of vapors that are coming in. But they're coming in for the wrong reasons. They're sitting there blowing, zero nic e-liquid, and they only want to do it because they think it's cool to blow clouds.
I agree, Sean. Yep.
Well, you know what, Sean? Here's what I think. You can use a mech mod if you want, if you practice the safety precautions. I like dripping out of a mech mod. I have a lot of mechanical mods.
I wouldn't recommend a mechanical mod for
I wouldn't recommend
it to
any
user,
beginners.
Not for the new user. Yeah.
Yeah, not to any beginners. Hell no.
I've been telling people to get this.
What's up, Legend?
This works well. You know what I mean?
I haven't. I have one too.
I haven't changed the coil on this either, Rich. You know that. I haven't swapped the coil out at all.
I gotta warm this up. Did you get I think I'm on my second coil.
I'm not. And it still tastes great. I put in some 12.
Oh, 12 milligram.
Yeah.
That makes sense. No, see, I agree with you, Sean. I mean, like, there's no I don't see a problem with vapors buying mechanical mods, right? And just like MJ said, there really is no reason for it. But you have to understand something.
Very true.
The reason why mechanical mods, what people don't realize is the reason why mechanical mods became popular, because in the Philippines, okay, and yes, for people who want to know, mechanical mods started in the Philippines, and the reason why it started is because there are a lot of vapors who couldn't afford to maintain their habit of vaping. They didn't want to go to smoking. So there are a few vapors that put their minds together. Some of these vapors being engineers and figured out a way, a cheap and inexpensive way to continue vaping without having to blow money on buying tanks, coils. They found a simple method. So the first mechanical mods that came into existence, I believe, was like towards the end of 2010, beginning of 2011. That's when if you look at the earliest like cloud chasing videos or like how to build a coil, the earliest ones are pretty much all Filipinos.
Wow.
So it was a cheaper way because, I mean, let's face it, the Philippines is a third world country. Okay, and there's a lot of poverty in the Philippines. So
you said third world, right?
It is considered a third world country, exactly, because they import more than they export. They're not a superpower, Now here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. In the Philippines, vaping is a luxury that only the rich people can afford. So in order for it to, like trickle down to the common man, they had to figure out ways to vape cheaply, inexpensively. So they figure out ways to make their own DIY. They figure out ways to rebuild coils using materials that you can find at a hardware store. And that's what started the trend. And then these companies started coming out with mechanical mods. And at first they didn't have the safety features they have now, like to prevent batteries from imploding on itself. But as time went on, through trial and error, they came out with safer mechanical mods with the right amount of safety features in it, lock-in features, because the first mechanical mods didn't even have on and off lock-in mechanisms.
Oh yeah, and how do you call it? And they will fire right up even if you had the batteries in backwards, and that was trouble. Now a lot of them don't do that. They won't fire up at all if the batteries in wrong, right?
Yeah, but I'm not saying they're bad. They're not bad at all. If you know how to properly use a mechanical mod. See, with me, the way I use mechanical mods, if I'm not using mechanical mod, there's no battery in it.
Yeah, I have several too.
I take out the battery. Yeah, I take out the battery if I'm not using it. The battery is only in there for the amount of time that I'm using it, and that's it.
Damn,
I mean, for God's sakes, look, I have a Sentinel here. I still have an original Sentinel, version 1. As you can't see, the bottom portion of my Sentinel is thick. The version 3, the bottom locking mechanism is only half the size. They started making them with a smaller one because they supposedly it was more comfortable for people. But I believe in the version 1, so I have one here. And I love this. Is always my tester. This is always my tester. So whenever I want to, I go in, I put in a battery. I have in here. What is this? This is my. Give me a second here. This is my Quasar. I have my Quasar in here. Quasar RDA that I use to test e-liquids. Oh, so you have a Sentinel. Oh, you're talking about just Max. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, I mean, like, the safest way for new vapors to come in, you set them up on a on a regulated mod, not a mechanical mod. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty, you know. So anyway. So yeah. So a question that a lot of new vapors ask when they get a device is, how do you fill it up? People don't look at it as a stupid question, guys. If somebody asks you a question like, I have this device, I don't understand how to fill it up, take the time out and explain it to them. It's only, what, 60 seconds of your time. Maybe like a couple of minutes if you're not familiar with the specific tank. You know? Right. No, people still make like really cool mods. It's just that you don't hear about as much because, you know, like, people aren't willing to spend the money now like they used to. What everybody's looking for is power, power, power. What's more powerful?
I seen a $3,000 mod at a vape meet. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it was made out of wood, but it was really beautiful. But I wouldn't pay $3,000. No way. Mm-mm.
Right. Well, you know, like, it depends though. Let's say it's like a piece of a redwood tree. So let's say you're carving a piece out of a 1,000-year-old tree. There is some worth to that.
But I'm not $3,000 worth. I don't think so. I mean, they're beautiful, but no, I'm not going to pay that much for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, what is the...
I have a limit. I hate paying more than $30 for a mod.
Hey,
I have
up,
expensive
James?
mods, but, you know, no.
Well, listen to this. Okay, listen to this. What is the quote-unquote hot mod that people are buying left and right now? It's the Smoke Alien, isn't it?
Yes, the one I talked to you about last night. They have it at hi Jazz. They opened up a new shop down the street. Remember I told you that they had it for, I think it was $79 for just the mod itself, and the kit was I think it was $89 or $99. Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. All right, the Smoke Alien mod is like the hot mod to buy right now, right? So Jag is a very big proponent when it comes to like SX Minis, and he's glad to report that all of the G class SX Minis have been sold out now, which is great. But how many G classes are there in circulation right now? 1,000 at most, maybe less, maybe 500 right now, right? I'm not sure. Jag would know, not me. How many Smoke Alien mods? So there's 30,000 G classes that were sold out worldwide. Okay.
300. I mean, was it 30,000? Wow.
30,000 of them. Fantastic. Okay. Compare that to what's the quote-unquote in mod right now, which is a Smoke Alien. I wouldn't be surprised if it was triple that amount right now. You know, would not even be surprised, right? And why is that? It's all due to what? The power. The power that you're getting for a low price. So let's say if you buy a unit for like $60, just to get the unit for $60 as opposed to $200 for a G class, right? You're paying for more wattage. I mean, a G class, I believe, goes to 200 watts. The Alien goes to 220. Right? Am I right? It's at 220 watts? But anyway, needless to say, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that if you want a quality mod that's going to last you for years and years, go the Jag route and buy yourself an SX Mini. It's going to last you a long freaking time.
Jazzy, is that 30,000 sold worldwide in 3 days?
Yeah.
Is that what he's saying?
He would know, so I believe him.
No, I know he does, but wow, that's amazing. Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Well, you have to understand the amount of vapors in the world. Okay, we are touching upon the hardcore vaping community is literally like 1 to maybe 2% of world vapers. We're talking the hardcore community, the community that goes to the big that goes to conventions and meets around the world.
Wow.
The people that actually attend these are maybe 1-2% of the total population of vapers around the world. That's what they estimate. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I still have my pro vapes. I don't use the mods. I just keep them on my shelf.
Right.
Yeah. Every time Rich comes over, I put them in my safe. All my expensive shit, you know.
She thinks because she believes that I'm gonna break them.
He is so clumsy, guys. Rich is so. I don't let him. And he's like, "Can I see it?" And I'm from a distance. I'm like.
No, she'll actually let me try it out as long as it's on her bed. So if it falls, it falls on the mattress.
On the mattress, exactly.
So that's literally like the only place she'll let me try her mods. So she's not completely evil to me. She doesn't,
Well, how many times have I let you use it?
I don't know, maybe a couple times.
Once.
I don't really ask too much.
Probably seen it twice.
And at least forget, guys, I actually won that mod. And I gave it to her. So she got my Jag win from last year.
I want to get one of those new ones though now. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the Q class minis?
Yeah.
But they're sold out now. You have to wait until they do a second run.
No, that's fine.
So anyway, what I'm trying to say to you is that people, for some reason, are demanding more power in their mods. Why? I'm vaping at 26 watts on this.
I'm on 25.
It's not a 1 ohm. I'm sorry, to be precise, 0.97 ohm single coil K-Fun.
Nope. I'm vaping at 26 watts.
Oh, the G class has that cool, funky, huge menu in the front. That's cool. Yeah.
Oh, really? Huh.
So that's what I'm trying to say to you. Is like, why do we need so much power? Why do people demand it? Because you got so they estimated right now as of 2015, the worldwide amount of the amount of vapors worldwide is about 9 million.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's way over that now. If they could sell, if SX Mini can sell out 30,000 units in 3 days, I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna have to talk to Jazzy. I think I want one. See if it can.
Well, no, I'm sure there'll be a second run of it
soon. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't always just make one run of a mod. If it's selling.
No, I know, but I actually want to talk to him about upgrading my other ones.
You're talking about upgrading the firmware?
Yeah.
If you go to the Yeezy site.
I know that, but I'd rather talk to Jazzy and have him walk me through it just to be safe.
Oh, right. I understand.
I'm not techie at all.
You are a techie. That's your livelihood. What are you talking about? I don't know your exact job title because I'm not allowed to know. But I know you deal with tech. Yeah, see, even MJ's vaping at 25 watts. What mod are you using right now, sweetheart?
I still have the Punisher.
Oh my God, I like that mod too.
I love the Punisher. This is what did we pay for these? $20 or something?
Yeah.
It's a $20 mod.
That was supposed to be your your kick around mod when you went to Japan.
Yeah, this was I think we paid like $18 for it. But then I got the Silo Beast, and I love it so. Damn, I ran out of juice. I loved it so much that for Black Friday we ordered. I think I got 3 more of these. I sent one to Rich. I gave one to my daughter who's in the military, and then I got the other one still here as a backup.
Yep, I got my Silo Beast on my other D3.
I actually bought the little
there it is.
The adapter. I bought the adapter that makes this smaller so it doesn't look so long.
Oh yeah, what's the deal with it? Why aren't you using it?
I haven't used it yet. Just haven't had time to really use it. But I'm gonna have to try it. Definitely.
You know what you could do? Buy yourself another base for cheap. Then you could have a second. You could have a second can.
Well, I already have 2 silos. I mean, I have this one. I have the new one. I haven't cracked open
right.
yet. So, but the other, and I have another top. Remember, because I was driving and I was trying to fill it up, and the top piece fell where my you know where you pull the brake, the emergency brake.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little space there, and it fell. Remember?
Oh,
so
right,
then I was vaping it for like a day without the top, and when I got to work, I had one of the techs give me one of those long magnetic, little like jaw, like I forget what they call it. It's like a little wire thing.
I know what you're talking about. So that
yeah, so it took me like 30 minutes to dig it out. So.
Right. But it was cool that we managed to order you a backup because it only cost $5.
Yeah, I'm glad I got the backup because I didn't think I was going to be able to get it out.
Because it may happen to you again, and next time you may not have the patience to.
Well, no, because in the new car, it's all leathered and it's covering the whole the whole brake itself. When you pull it, it has like a little leather cover on it, so it won't fall in. The other car, it was kind of like rubbery, but you could things can still fall in. So
right.
So it won't happen now.
No,
unless I use the other car. So.
I totally get it. Sweetheart, the way I'm looking at it is that the point I'm trying to make is, I think it's probably cool to have a device that can give you that much power if you so desire it, but you don't even need it. I mean, I talked to a lot of people that love to drip. That's all they like to do. They don't even like using tanks. They don't like using regulated tanks, even though you can get clouds off of them. Right. They still swear by dripping on RDAs, okay? And I've talked to some really hardcore, especially at meets and stuff, and they're all like, I don't need to go over 100 watts. I don't need to.
And you don't have to drip either.
Clouds.
I'm not even a dripper. I don't like dripping. I just don't. I have everything to do it. It's just too complicated. It's just a lot easier to just.
I understand it's a bitch to like rebuild coils and stuff like that, But but there are people that swear by it and they like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like one of those. It's just something that that I found that it's a necessary question when people ask, how do you fill your tank? Guys, take the time out to help them out. Okay.
I will do it. I will help whoever that needs it. Last thing we want is to be on the news again with this, somebody posting a stupid video of an accident or something because it's the user's fault and they didn't do things right. It's just going to hurt us, though.
Right.
Take the time and show someone.
Now, here's another popular question along the lines of affordability. How much will vaping cost you? You're going to get that question a lot from newbies. Like, how is it going to benefit me to vape over smoking cigarettes?
Well, you can save a lot of money vaping if you just buy a nice little kit and it'll last you for a while. But if you're like a lot of us, we have to have what comes out. Every time it comes out, something new comes out, you have to have it. And then you end up spending more and more on devices. And you got to try this expensive juice, this premium juice. That person has a new. You got to keep.
You have to have a pretty good upfront cost to begin with. You have to invest.
Vaping can be very expensive because it was expensive for me, and I cut back completely. I used to get vape mail every day, and I had to cut back. I mean, I love Joe to death. Don't get me wrong. I love Joe to death. Okay, Joe is a cool dude. I really do like hanging with him.
Right.
But I will not go to his page every day. I used to check Joe's page, oh my God, 3 or 4 times a day. But then it got expensive. So I go on there, I try to check it out every couple of days, but I keep myself from buying stuff. But he has a lot of good deals. And if you're a new vapor or you like to get stuff, you got to stay on top of Joe's page. You know what I mean? Right. Download. He has an app for it now, so he's had it for a while. Download the app, and you'll definitely get some good deals watching Joe's page.
Agreed.
His blog is the shit. It is what it is. So, I mean, we used to be on it. Me and Nanya used to be on Joe's, I mean, all the time. Every time something went on sale, she would call me if I'm at work. I'm like, get it, I'll get you back. And she would buy stuff and ship it to me, and I would get it. It's crazy. I mean, I think that's why I have so many mods, but I always go back to the basics. You know, now I'm using the iClear, and I stick to this one because I drop my mods a lot, you know. And now
trust
all
me,
my
guys, she has a lot of
yeah.
mods in her case.
I had to buy. I have actually, yeah, I have a lot of stuff. So you know.
But at the same time, babe, you shouldn't just, you know, let your good equipment go to waste. Use it. You know?
No, I do use it, but I don't leave the house with it. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Like I can be, you know how it is. I can have 5-6 mods on my bed while I'm watching TV or on the couch or whatever, and you know, I'll use them all. But I don't leave my house with my good shit. I don't. One, because I've lost them. I'll leave them on a counter somewhere, and then when I go back, it's missing. Because, believe it or not, a lot of people, when they see it, they know what it is, and a lot of people take it because they know someone that's vaping or they're vaping.
Well, the first year,
They'll take your shit.
well, the first year I had a vape, I spent over $4,000 on gear. That was my first year.
Well,
because I kept my receipts and yeah, I was
remember reading an article on you.
Year.
Yeah, he was, because there was an article written about Vapor Joe and Rich that's still out there. I forgot who what magazine or I forgot where it was, but I know it's still out there. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, it was from 2013.
And I remember seeing where they had Joe and they had Rich, they had some other vapors out there, and they listed how much they spent so far on vaping gear. And this was back then. So Rich had about $5,000 or whatever, but $5,000 back then wasn't a lot of equipment. I mean, because one mod, he probably paid $300 for it. You know what I mean? That's how expensive it was. You know, for the really good devices. Now, if you're spending $5,000, you must have a lot of gear.
Oh yeah, if you spend $5,000 now, man, you're styling.
Oh yeah, you have a lot of stuff. But $5,000 back in the day, you didn't get much. No way.
I mean, I obviously cut down a lot on the amount of money I spend. Right now, at this point, I spend more money on consumables than anything. Now, consumables mean a couple of things. Consumables mean like materials to build coils, cotton, coils on sub-ohm tanks, and e-liquid. Those are consumables. I spend most of my money on that over anything else. Yeah. Like right now, I got 3 companies that I buy juice from on a regular, and that's you buy from Mountain Oak Vapor.
Mount Oak Vapors. Every time I visit
Watch.
Every time I visit Florida, I go to their shop in Oviedo, Florida, and I spend at least $250. And I buy from Watch, and
you buy from Good Life.
Watch, I buy from Good Life, but I also have to give props to 28 Days Vape. I love their pink fruit chew, which is pink Starburst.
Right. And not only that, that's they're in Mexico right now. They're enjoying a little holiday.
Oh, are they? Yeah. But I also have different other juices, like I get from Rhino too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get from Rhino. You get from Mr. E-Liquid in Michigan.
Mr. E-Liquid too, yeah. But I don't think there's probably about 10 places that I order from regular.
But the 3 main places is 28 Days Vape, Watch, and Mountain Oak Vapor, right?
Yep. T-Max has, and my daughter loves T-Max juice. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, did you get your latest order?
And I want to thank them. I mean I bought, I don't know how many. I think we got 7 bottles or whatever, but we got it quick. It was pretty quick.
Oh, good. Oh, Jag!
Don't tell me you're going to the Patriots game. Jag!
Look like Jag's coming to Houston.
Are you going to be tailgating or do you have
Jag,
tickets?
if you come to Houston, man, hit me up. I'll meet up with you.
My daughter messaged me. The one who's in the military. She lives in San Antonio now. She just got back from Okinawa, and she messaged me. She was like, "Ma, you want to go to the game?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You gonna buy tickets?" She was like, "Hell no, they're too expensive. We can tailgate." So she's gonna look into it to see. I might go up there. I might be going to, but I'm not going inside. I'll probably be tailgating. Yeah.
I'm totally not tailgating that. I'll hang out with you girls the night before. I ain't going to that.
I didn't invite you because the last thing I want, okay, is a Broncos fan hanging with me at the Patriots game. If anything, I will go try to find Jazzy. If he's out there, I'll be like, Jazzy, I'm here, and I'll go hang out with him. Oh, your uncle, is he going to be tailgating, or you're going to get tickets to the game? Because even tailgating is expensive. You know what I mean?
I can't believe all these people are coming.
You're getting tickets.
All these massholes are coming down to Houston.
I was going to ask you to check, to ask the massholes if they were going to be tailgating, because I'll go, Hey, Jazz, he has 4 tickets. If he has an extra ticket, I will show up. I will pay for it at a reasonable price, but
you don't understand. Tickets are going for over $3,000.
$31.
They're going for over $3,000.
Wow. But I might go just to tailgate, though. I'm still thinking about it.
I can't believe the Super Bowl is here.
Yeah.
No, you should be happy, Rich. Your girlfriend's a Patriots fan. You're right there. You could be hanging out at the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, he got him from his boss. Shit. Well, if you need somebody to go, if he has an extra ticket,
she's serious.
I'll definitely go. I'm serious too.
She's the biggest Patriots fan I know. Her room is a freaking shrine to the Patriots.
Yeah, sure.
Well, no, sorry. It's a shrine to the Patriots and the Boston Red Sox.
The Red Sox. I have a few things from Celtics and stuff like that, but it's mainly the Red Sox.
Yeah, a couple Celtics, a couple of Boston Bruins, maybe 1 or 2 things.
Yeah.
Hardcore Boston girl right there. With me, it's weird because if I were to display all my stuff, it would be Broncos gear, Yankees gear, Avalanche gear. Even though, yes, I know the Avalanche are the worst hockey team in the league.
MJ, I do. I have the small fat heads and stuff like that. I do have them.
All right, so
there's so much stuff on my walls. I can't. I mean, I really can't hang. I have a ton of stuff on the floor just leaning up against the wall because I can't hang it up.
All right, so you have MJ talking about how much he spends on e-liquid. You have N. Russica talking about how she's been using an Evic Mini that she got since it released a couple years ago. I
like the Evic. Those were nice. Definitely. I have those too. But like I was saying earlier, I think for a good year and a half, every time Joe posted something, I would buy it. You know what I mean? So I have a lot of gear. I really do. And I don't think I've used everything, to be honest. I don't think I have.
See, look, N. Russica spends less than $20 a month because she DIYs and uses ceramic coils because they last a long time. While on the other hand, you have MJ here. Mm-hmm. He's trying to be a savings account and a 401k and in retirement account. Oh my God.
Hey, I'm working on my retirement too. You know what I mean?
How much would you say you spend on e-liquid a month? I would say for
me.
You figure, let's say the average pack of cigarettes is anywhere between, depending on what state you live in, from between $6 a pack to $12 a pack.
Well,
depending on where you live.
I'm going to say that I'm spending about $300 every 2 months.
So you spend about $150 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, so you spend $150 a month on consumables.
Yeah.
How would that equate to how much a carton of cigarettes is? Okay, so let's say, Jag says in Massachusetts $400 a month to smoke cigarettes.
I mean, a pack of cigarettes is about, when I was buying them, I was paying maybe $7.50, $8 a pack, and I started smoking for 4 years now. I only bought them by the carton when they were on sale, but I would go into the gas station every day, play my lottery, and this was every night, and buy 3 packs that night.
To last you the weekend.
A night. I mean, every night I would go in.
Whoa. You would smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day?
And I would do that, but I would play my lottery, you know, and all that before I got to the house. So I would buy 3 packs. And then I did that every other day. Mm-hmm. Every other day, 3 packs.
Well, talking about what and Rustica, I was religious when it came to rolling my own cigarettes. I would buy filter tips, and I had a machine. I bought one of the cigarette making machines. And I would buy Bugle Gold. That was my favorite. I would use Bugle Gold. If I couldn't find Bugle Gold, if they ran out, I would buy Bugle, regular.
Right. No, I can't believe you rolled them.
I rolled them. And no, I would save old packs of cigarettes and fill them up with my rolled cigarettes. And I remember bringing them to work, and my boss would be like, "Hey, dude, can you roll me some cigarettes?" So eventually, what I would do is I would bring my roller to work, because before vaping, we were rolling our own cigarettes at work. And then my boss bought his own rolling machine.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's like the whole big machine with the little.
Is he vaping or is he still smoking?
My boss actually got me into vaping.
Yeah, okay. That's why I was wondering if it was the same person. Yes, okay.
Yeah, he actually got. But before that, we were like rolling our own cigarettes at the end of work. At the end of work, we would sit there for like a half an hour. I was like, "Rich, man, let's roll some cigarettes." So we'll sit there and talk. We would have end of day meetings. It would be the VP, him, myself, the other director, and I'm sitting there rolling cigarettes. He's sitting there rolling cigarettes. The other 2 guys don't smoke. They're like, "You guys are crazy." We're sitting there rolling our own cigarettes till And
the other day, Rich, I saw this. I don't know if you guys. It's funny. I just saw it.
No, I didn't have YouTube. A Tops machine. I had the other brand. I forgot.
No, but I saw this. I saw this roller, and it rolled 12 inches. So you would put a 12-inch long paper, and you would roll it, and then it had notches where you can cut them up afterwards.
Oh no! Because I insisted on I wanted filtered cigarettes.
Oh,
so I would buy the filter tips. You'd buy them in a box. It would be like a pack of 200 or 250.
Really? Oh wow, that's too much work.
And I would put them in the machine. And the machine, you just do one swipe. It was like a handle, and it would put. You can't do it too hard because it would rip the paper. But you would actually.
MJ, you cracked me up. I think the machine I saw was for joints too. Wow.
Yeah. So when I quit smoking, when I knew that I was going to be vaping for the rest of my life, in 2012, my neighbor's son was still smoking. I was like, "Listen, it's against my better judgment to do this, but here, I gave the rest of my tobacco. I gave my machine. I gave all this stuff to my neighbor's son." But I told him, I was like, "Listen, man, I'm giving this to you because I quit smoking. I'm moving to vaping because it's gonna be in turn it's gonna be healthier for me. I feel it." He's like, "Oh man, I'm not gonna deal with that." It's like, "Well, I'll give this to you instead of throwing it out, so it's not going to waste. But I'm telling you, I hope one day you consider trying this." And I was only a couple weeks into vaping when I gave away my gear. Wow.
You never went back when you started, Rich?
Never. I've never had a drag of a cigarette since June. I believe the date was June 20th. June 20th, 2012.
Well, I have a friend that was vaping longer than I have, and I went to visit her, and she was smoking. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? I can't believe you're smoking." And she was like, I know, I gotta switch back. And I had a feeling that she was. So I had juice and I had some stuff, and I made her dig out her stuff, and she started vaping. So she vaped the entire time I was there with her. So I'm hoping that she said she was gonna stick with it, and her hubby was gonna do the same thing. So I'm hoping that she's still vaping. I gotta check on her again.
Yeah, I hear you. So, and it's funny because Jag brought up a good point. He said that the average smoker in Massachusetts spends $400 on cigarettes.
And is that a week? I mean, a month, right? Or?
Yeah, $400 a month, he said. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up that point, $400, okay? Now, the average mortgage in a house, right, mortgage, can be anywhere between $500 to $1,000 a month, right, depending on the type of mortgage you got and how long of a mortgage. Some people get 15-year mortgages, some people get 30-year mortgages.
30 years, yeah.
So if you get a 30-year mortgage, you can pay as low as $400 or $500 a month.
Right.
Okay? But for 30 years.
Okay.
Now think about that for a second. If a person's averaging in Massachusetts $400 a month on cigarettes, it's the same amount of money you would spend on a typical 30-year mortgage.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Now, if you move from $400 a month to anywhere between, I probably spend on the average maybe, I'm down to like $50 a month. And the reason why is because I have such a surplus of e-liquid that I'm either trying out or going through and liking. Every month I'm always going through my stash to see which e-liquid is getting old. So I'll pull those out, the ones that are running old. So I vape all of those. So that way I don't have any, and there was a time where I was giving away a lot of e-liquid that I didn't think I was going to get through.
But he's in Texas. Maybe that's what it is in Texas, but up north the mortgage is a lot more than that. A 30-year mortgage, you're probably paying about $800 to $1,000, $800
to $1,000 a month on a 30-year mortgage. That would kind of make sense. That would kind of make sense. But I'm just saying, there are people out there that have low interest rate mortgages that put a lot of money up front. Because, like, for example, for this house, I mean, we were fortunate. It made me poor as fuck. But we paid off, we bought this house outright. Okay. And
Silver Spoon bought it outright, guys. Go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Why you gotta make fun of me?
I was just clarifying, just making sure they understood.
Why do you have to add the silver spoon?
I'm just saying, you own your house, which is great. Not many people can say that.
I'm a part owner. My brother is the majority owner.
Still owner. Go ahead.
I'm a part owner. Okay, just so you know, I'm not bringing up this subject again. People in chatters are, but I will not talk about it. So let's talk about the next point, which is kind of goes to what we were saying, right? A new vapor would ask, "Will I save money?" And we pretty much already answered that question. But the thing is that you do have to put a pretty considerable cost up front to get your gear. Now, I would tell a new vapor to have a primary device and 2 backups. So I would tell a person to buy three devices. Get a get a device that they like. Get the same device as a backup, and another device that maybe a small one like an eye care or something they can slip into their purse or their pocket or whatever.
Go to bed. Go.
That's what I think. I don't know. What do you think, babe?
Go to bed. You're right.
Would that be good advice to give for a new vapor? And obviously spend the money on some tanks.
Yeah.
Because I say...
it's a lot different now. I mean, usually I still have a lot of old stuff. So when somebody wants to vape something, I'll go ahead and give him one of the... Jesus, I can't even remember the name of it. I'll let them borrow one of my old mods and whatever, and have them try it. And I'll give them some juice, and then I'll let them know, try this for a few days, a week, whatever. And when you're ready to get something, then we'll go online and I'll help them buy it. So that's what I do. So. Oh,
and Ruska's talking old school, like oh my God, the Rio Grande. I remember I used to have a Rio Grande. I actually traded it with somebody because they were swearing up and down they wanted it so bad because I had an orange one, and I traded it out, and I forgot what I got out of it, but they traded me a Provari for it, and I still swear by Provari. I got one right here.
I have 2 of them. I love them.
Yeah, she has a regular Provari and a Provari.
Yeah.
Let me turn this on. set this. I don't know why this is at 5.3 volts. I had it at 5.
That was the very first expensive mod. I paid, I think, about $250, $280 for mine.
Mouth to lung. Now I do keep my battery in this, but I turn it. You have as an on-off switch. I turn it off, and it's a regulated mod, so I'm comfortable with that. It's just mechanical mods. I'll never keep my batteries in them. You know. Okay, so let's see here.
Wang is funny.
So people, listen. The next question that people would ask,
Go to bed.
The next question that new vapors would ask is, what are the health benefits of vaping over cigarettes? What's the easiest way that we can come up with an answer that's not going to last like 10 minutes? We could basically, I would say the best way to say is that, they had an e-cigarette summit in 2015. They had a panel of scientists estimated that vaping is about 95% safer than tobacco cigarettes. So people would ask, why is it safer? How is it safer? Okay. Well, there's a lot. I mean, thankfully, there's been a lot of studies that have been carried out in the past just couple of years. Okay. And one of the largest ones was there was a survey. They surveyed over 1,000 vapers, and they talked about the benefits of people switching from tobacco cigarettes to vaping, right? So what they found was when it talks about vaping over cigarettes overall, okay, breathing, like almost 90% of vapers that were 90% of vapers that were surveyed said that their breathing had improved immensely. 90%, right? 90%.
Yeah.
And in terms of how they smell, right? Not over 90% said that they didn't have the stigma of smelling like a chimney, or their clothes smell like chimney, because cigarette smoke clings on to clothes like no one's business, right? You would have to put your clothes in hot water to get the smell out, right?
Oh yeah.
So people found it better in terms of the smell, in terms of the breathing.
Your taste buds.
Yeah,
I mean, it's much better. I mean,
when it comes to taste,
food. Oh yeah,
it's
great.
Actually, the survey that I'm looking at, the one with 1,000 vapors, that were, they say that about 85% said that they got their taste buds back to work in order within a year. Okay, and then here's the last one. Here's something. This is a very interesting thing. They asked them about their physical endurance when it comes to vaping, as opposed to switching from smoking to vaping. And about 80% said that their physical condition improved dramatically from vaping over smoking. And so then a new vapor would ask, well, how is that? And it's easy, because e-liquid is made out of 4 major components, right? Mm-hmm. Flavoring, vegetable glycerin, propylene glycol, mm-hmm. right? And nicotine. However, with smoking, they put chemicals in there to make it addicting.
Yes.
Now here's the thing. Now, just kind of like a sidebar when it comes to this question. Yvette, how many people do we know in the vaping group that we're even friends with that have gone from, we started out at, let's say, 18 milligrams nicotine.
18 to 24.
And we moved down. How many of our friends have moved from 3 to 6 at this point?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I know There's only one person I know that vapes at 24.
I know two people that vape I know two.
And
people,
I think it's
three
the same
people
person we know
that still vape between 18 and 24.
Yeah,
but the majority of people I know, they went down to like normally vaping 3 to 6 milligrams of nic as opposed to 18. Now, my question to you is this, guys: when we were smoking cigarettes, how many of you switched from regular cigarettes down to ultralights during your 10 years smoking?
I never had the ultralights. I was a menthol smoker. I did Newports. I mean, I would switch up the brands, anything menthol, but I would never go down to anything ultralight or nothing like that.
I mean, I try. I mean, some of the times that I tried to quit smoking, I tried. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Carlton cigarettes. They had like the lowest amount of nicotine on the market. It was like 1.5 milligrams of nicotine. Right. 1.5, and it was like smoking air.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do the Benson and Hedges. I mean, the only time I smoked those was whenever I ran out. I had a bum. The people that smoked where I was at, that's the only thing they had, Benson and Hedges.
Can I tell you something? I used to smoke Benson and Hedges Deluxe Ultralights.
Oh, and
they had 6 milligrams of nicotine in it.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, and I smoked those for about a year, just to try to, and my friends would always make fun of me. They're like, "Dude, what are you, high class? You have to smoke Benson and Hedges." So I was getting the silver spoon tag even when I was in college.
I believe it.
Right. So,
wow.
But my preferred brand of cigarettes was Camel Lights or Camel Turkish Silvers. I probably smoked Camel Lights or Camel Turkish Silvers for about 20 years.
Wow.
I tried American Spirit Lights. I mean, I tested, but the main cigarettes I smoked was like, there was a time where I was smoking menthol. There was like a year or two where I smoked Marlboro menthol lights. It's all I smoked.
Rich, you said when you rolled, wasn't it expensive?
No, I saved money. It was before Obama put the tax on loose tobacco. He like doubled the cost, so I hated him for that. He put that tax on loose tobacco in 2011.
Oh wow.
You know.
Mhm.
Oh no. I'll follow chat. Okay, Wang Chung said that light cigarettes. The difference between light cigarettes and regular cigarettes is they put micro holes in the filter to let more air in. Not all light cigarettes are like that though, Wang Chung. There are certain brands where they actually change it to tobacco on it. Like I know.
Well, you know who did
that?
But you know, there's a brand out there called Bridgeport. Bridgeport was the knockoff to Newports, and they were at least $1.75 cheaper. And I used to buy those a lot.
Well,
and
I know
they went ahead and changed the filter.
Yeah, I know Newport lights had the holes in the filter. I remember seeing those on Newport lights.
Well, Bridgeport did that. They went ahead and changed the filter, and it just wasn't the same. So I stopped buying those and went back to Newports.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was awful.
But Newports now have regular cigarettes. I remember when they were advertising that Newport regular. You know, the whole point of Newports is that people wanted the menthol.
Right.
You know, so if you wanted the regular cigarettes, you buy it was Lucky Strikes, right? It's the same company. You would smoke Lucky Strikes.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh no, Sean, I agree. I mean, I was trying to lower the amount of nicotine in my system. That's why I switched them. But it was still harming me with all the, with all the addictive chemicals they would put in it. They would spray it onto the tobacco, so it would cause people to keep buying it.
It's crazy.
It's the oldest trick in the tobacco industry. It's how they made billions of dollars a year. I mean, they're still making a ton of money a year, but now it's more like they're exporting their goods more than they're selling in the United States. Because at least, I mean, there's one good thing I could say about millennials, okay? Millennials have the wisdom of our generation to tell them why smoking's bad for you. And they could see the changes. A lot of kids these days don't even start cigarettes. It doesn't say it's eliminated it completely. There's still a lot of kids that decide to try cigarettes out for the first time every day, thinking it's cool or whatnot. Like, oh, this is the thing to do.
No, but a lot of kids are vaping now. And
they switch over to vaping when they get busted by their parents vaping. They say, but Mom, Dad, it's safer. 95% safer. So like, you're not 18 yet. It's an adult thing. The whole point of vaping in the first place was that so adults who are cigarette smokers can have a replacement therapy, so to speak, in vaping to move them away from cigarettes. Now, the whole point initially of the vaping industry was to help people quit smoking, move to vaping, and then eventually not use nicotine at all. The end goal with vaping is to, if you can't stop the psychological action of smoking, you could drop your nicotine levels, because now when you're vaping, you're not vaping those addictive chemicals that they put into cigarettes that make you want to stay at that nicotine level. It makes you realize that you can live off less and less nicotine because let's face it, nicotine is the most addictive chemical on the planet.
Yeah. There's at work, there's a woman there who wanted to start vaping, but she wasn't even a smoker. I'm like, are you serious? She was like, yeah, I want to start vaping. So I went ahead and gave her some, but she wanted a vape at zero nic. Mm-hmm. So I gave her some zero nic, and she's been vaping, I'm going to say maybe over 6 months now.
Damn.
And she loves it. And she wasn't a smoker. And I think she's like 22, 23, and she just wanted a vape, and that's what she's doing now. She vapes at zero nic, and she's been vaping for 6 months, and she never smoked before in her life. Yeah, you're surprised. Everybody's catching on to it, and people are just doing it just for the, she likes the flavoring of it, and but she wasn't a smoker.
I mean, we are going into the dark ages of vaping, though, right now. Because right now, the vaping industry is being severely persecuted. I'm not going to really go into depth on that, because I've talked about it so many times in the past. But I just want people to just go, if you can, spend 5 minutes out of your day, at least a few times a week, and go to CASA. Because they keep you up to date with regulations that are happening across the country.
That's true.
Just spend 5 minutes, even if it's at the least once a week. Go to the CASA website and just read through the latest articles that are happening, the latest things that are happening in townships around the country. And they even go abroad and talk about things that are happening abroad. That's your easiest way to keep in touch with advocacy. You could also go to the SAFADA page. And also, I don't usually always tell people to go listen to a specific podcast, but Smoke Free Radio on Tuesday nights with Dimitri, he's like one of the most respected advocates in the entire world.
Oh yeah,
he lives his life to advocate. True, he is a businessman also. He's the COO of Mountain Oak Vapers. But he has relationships with all of the top manufacturers in the world.
Oh yeah, they just got back from China last week, didn't they?
Yeah, they go to China once a year, and they hung out with the people from Yeehee, Aspire, Innokin, and Kangertech.
Yeah, is Phil still doing his show?
I'm sorry.
Phil, is he still doing the YouTube?
He still does YouTube videos. He doesn't do them as often. He probably does.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Tiger? Welcome, man. How's it going?
Hello, Tiger.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. We have a new URL. So we've been telling people just to go to vapingundergroundlive.com, and it switches you over to the new channel.
Right. It took me a while to find it too myself. So
all of my posts have been switched over. I just go to vapingundergroundlive.com.
Yeah, but did you put in there that the link changed? I mean, did you say the link has changed?
Well, no. If they go to vapingunderground.com, it automatically ports you to this address.
Right. Okay.
It's good to see you, Tiger. Nice to see you. All right. So the next question I do want to ask that newbies would ask us, these are popular questions. does vaping work? Will they help you quit smoking?
I'm on 4 years now. Yes, it does.
Now the answer to that for me personally is yes. But
wait a minute, I know somebody that was vaping for over 4 years, 5 years, longer than I have. And I also think it's how should I say this? I also think that if you hang around people that smoke,
right,
you will go back, because I think that's what happened to them.
Well, you know what though?
If you don't stay with the community, I'm being serious. I'm telling you because I've seen it. If you don't stay with the community, you don't stay in touch with what's happening, stay with Vaping Underground or whatever, you know what I mean?
Hey, Tiger.
And you hang with people that are smokers, you're going to go right back into it. And I've seen it happen. So,
well, that's the thing.
I'm not saying to be on it every day or whatever, but at least stay in touch at least once a week, twice, whatever. Try to stay within the community. Watch your shows, because if you don't, a lot of people just switch right back. I mean,
well, that's why I always tell people, it's like, welcome to our weekly Nicotine Anonymous meeting. I'll say that sometimes.
Exactly, yeah.
Because
that's true.
It helps to talk and be around other vapors. And obviously, if we can't do that in person, we can do it here online with these shows. I mean, we struggle all the time. I mean, Yvette knows I struggle constantly. There are days where I'll wake up and I'll tell her, it's like, babe, I dreamed about smoking last night. Yeah. And I remember taking that first drag, and it was so good.
I don't know where the hell Rich and I, where we were, but we went past Smokers one time. We were walking somewhere. I think it was in, who was it? I think it was Milwaukee. When we went to Milwaukee, and we passed Smokers. And I remember the look on Rich's, he was like, oh my God, that smells so good. I was like, keep walking, keep walking.
What's up, One Arm Bandit?
Hello, One Arm. So, I mean, I
know she had to grab my arm and say, let's go.
I had to pull him. I mean, I think it's who you hang with. If you're going to be around smokers all the time. Like, when I vape, I have to go to the smoking section, but the smoking section has changed so much where there's so many vapors there now.
Oh, Tiger, I know
at the smoking section at work, you know, and then the people that are smoking are you know, they're starting to ask everybody, you know, how do you vape, what you're vaping, and people are switching over. So, you know, the movement is there, it's going, it's happening, but
yeah, but let's I'll be the first to say I'm not a fool. I still get cravings for cigarette constantly.
I'm going to be honest. I don't get those cravings. I don't. And I remember that I went ahead and I asked for a drag. And when I grabbed it and I started to take a drag, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And I didn't. So, I mean, you're going to get temptations. It's going to happen. It's just like Rich says, you know, it's like being in a Vapers Anonymous. You got to stay in tune. You got to stay with the groups.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's what this is honestly my passion. Why I've continued my passion for broadcast. I mean, yeah, like lately, since over a year ago when I stopped doing giveaways, the numbers have dropped significantly, and it made me realize the people that stuck around are the people who are serious about not only continuing to vape, you know, but to make sure to keep them on the straight and narrow. Because there are people every week. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying today, but there's always people that I always run across in chat who said, "Rich, I started smoking again. I mean, I'm still vaping, but I bought a pack of cigarettes. I'm stressing out, you know, for one reason or another."
And it's normal, and it's going to happen, and a lot of people do it. Sometimes you can be a vapor that's been vaping for years, but sometimes you're gonna need to take a drag, smoke one cigarette or something. You never know. I mean, you know, don't just stop vaping because of that. Just keep at it. You know, you do it once, no big deal.
There's no harm.
Get back on track.
See, I never judge people that go back and, let's say, have a weak moment, decide they want to have a cigarette or two, or even buy a pack and smoke that pack and then go back to vaping.
It happens. Just get right back on it when you can. That's it.
I mean, the whole point of it is that you're in the middle of doing it. You realize your mistake, and we're here to help you and let you know, listen, we're not going to persecute you.
Very true, Sean. Yeah.
I know I would never persecute people
Right.
Oh, hey, Miss Trixie. Yeah, see, that's a good point, too. For people who doubt vaping, who quote-unquote say, well, I enjoy smoking. I still enjoy smoking. I haven't touched a cigarette in almost 5 years. I still enjoy smoking.
I'm going to be honest. I remember my first cigarette still. I remember the taste and oh, my God, it tasted so good. I I love having a Newport. My God. I personally just try to stay away from people that smoke. And like I said, when I go to the smoking section at work, a lot of them, because they hear us talking about vaping, they stop smoking and they walk away. They leave. So I just stay away from that crowd. I mean, if I go somewhere and it's a family event or whatever, there's always going to be a smoker there, and they'll start asking questions or whatever. And before you know, like, well, the end's out. The day, the night is out. They're vaping off our stuff,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean,
it is what it is.
It's more curiosity than anything. It's like, wow, that smells really good. It starts with that. What is that?
But it's okay if you go ahead and you have a cigarette, whatever. It's not the end of the world. Just get right back on it if you can. And if you can't, then when you're ready, you'll get right back on it. But no one's gonna judge you. It is what it is.
You know what I just noticed, babe? Your new headphones match your hat, which match your background. You're all Patriot out.
I got these for Christmas. These are
those are nice looking headphones.
These are the Dre ones, the new ones.
You call me Silver Spoon. You got Dre headphones.
These were a gift. My daughter got them from. And remember when I called you and they weren't working? There's a button down here. There's a button that you have to push to turn them on, and I totally forgot about it. So
who's the Silver Spoon now?
These were a gift. I would never buy these because they're too expensive. I don't have that kind of money like you. You know what I mean? So
anyway, listen. Instead of going through the rest of the questions, we can go through the rest of it next week. But I want to end on an antidote. Okay, so
I hear you, Trixie, and it's hard to walk by a smoker or pass the smoking section and you smell it, and it's like, wow. You just gotta be strong, and it is what it is. If you can do it, fine. But if you can't walk away, it's okay too.
So anyway, sweethearts, this is what happened. So people who know on my Tuesday fill-in show, Greg, aka Mr. Crispers, is my co-host on Tuesdays.
Right.
LOV can't do because she usually goes to the gym after work on Tuesdays. It's one of the days she goes, and then when she comes home, she's tired. She wants to sleep. So I don't blame her. It's good enough that I could get her to come on when she can on Thursday nights. So
I just walked in through the door when I called you.
Yeah. So anyway. So Greg said he was going to send me some stuff. He DIY'd some banana e-liquid for me, and got me and gave me one of his coil masters. He had like 5 of them. Okay. So, I was out today. I go home. Go and grab the mail, and there was a notice saying I had to go to the post office to pick up a package. So I go to the package, and they asked me if I can open up the package. They have permission for me to open up the package there at the post office. Now, this is very irregular. Right? Now, the reason why they asked is they weren't sure what was in the package, but he decided to write on the package, penis pump enclosed, fragile.
No, he did. On the box or on the...
On the package.
On the package.
So the X-rated at the post office to see what it was, and they weren't sure what it was. So they asked if I could open it because they said it could be explosive or bomb.
Was it a woman or a man that was at the counter helping you?
They were both there because they were curious. There was a woman and a guy. So I'm sitting there like, I'm gonna fucking kill this dude. What is he doing to me, right? So, look, penis pump enclosed, fragile.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
So I'm like, damn it. So I had to opened up the package at the post office, and this is what's inside. And I had to sit there and explain to them what was in there. So...
Okay, don't throw that out. You gotta take pictures of that and put it on your Facebook.
No way, man. I ain't doing that.
Yes, you gotta put the story up. It's
I'm gonna bring this up to him on Tuesday. I was hoping he'd show up tonight, but he's probably busy hanging out with his wife. So he gave me a Coil Master, which is really nice. I had a Coil Master, but I had it sent to LLV, so she has the latest version of the Coil Master. And
let's see what else he sent.
And he sent me some of his DIY. So I was kind of psyched.
Wow.
He sent me 120 mil of. He sent me 120 mil of Rich's Big Banana. Rich's Big Banana. So I'm totally gonna try that out. He also sent me
wow.
a 30 mil of this stuff called, I don't know what this is. It's a 3 milligram of Juicifer.com. It just says Juicifer. I don't know what flavor this is. I have no idea. I have to ask him what it is. It's called Sloth. Juicifer Sloth. And the last thing he sent me was a 30 mil of Cloud Collections Graham Cracker E-Liquid by Unique E6.
You know what, Rich? I never got that coffee vape.
What coffee vape?
The one from Rhino.
Oh, you gotta hit him up, man. He's supposed to send it to you because I won that for you. And I gave him your address. I'll hit him up.
I never got that shit.
I'll talk to Rhino.
Okay.
So I want to say thank you to Crispers. Not thank you for penis pumping clothes. Fragile.
So did you use the penis pump? Where is it? Show it.
There was no pump.
Come on, Rich. Show us the penis pump.
There is no pump.
You liar.
There is no pump. I don't know what you're talking about.
When I come to visit, if
no
I
pump.
see that damn penis pump, I'm going to take a picture of it and post it.
I'm telling you, there's no pump. There's no pump.
And I'll be able to tell the difference if you've used it, so.
There is no pump. Oh my God, there is no pump. I wouldn't lie to you about that, baby. I don't have no pump.
That is a small package, isn't it?
God, there is no pump. There's no pump involved. There's no pump involved. Oh God. But it was kind of embarrassing, I have to admit. It's a little bit of embarrassing.
Were they laughing?
They were kind of like, they're trying to hold it in kind of thing. So I was a little embarrassed. I'm not going to lie. I was a little embarrassed. It happened.
You're not reading chat, are you? Oh, God.
Oh, God. Small
That's
adapter,
so
right? Oh, boy. So, yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened in my life. That's
so funny. And after you opened it and you took out the juices, what did they say? Nothing?
Nothing. They're like, no, we just wanted to make sure because we saw there was liquid. They weren't sure what was, because they saw it through the X-ray. The X-rayed it.
Right.
You know, it was a bit embarrassing.
And you know what? I'm surprised they asked permission because I thought they didn't have to ask for permission to open a package.
I don't know. They asked me for. They said, "Would you?" They questioned it. They put in a question. Would you please open this for us?
Huh.
So I did.
Wow. Now, were there people in line? Like, what did they say? It says this. Did they say it out loud so people can hear?
Well, there was. Well, they put me on. Like, they had the regular lines, but I was on the side. So they had one employee helping out with regular customers. They had me on the side with two. I think it was the postmaster and one of the employees. So I was talking to the postmaster of that branch. And
oh wow.
Yeah.
I bet you they took pictures of it and everything,
Well, no, they X-rayed it.
I'm sure that they took a picture of it with their own cell phones or something. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know. So that was my afternoon. That happened around 3:45 this afternoon.
I think you have to pay for because I've had juice sent to me.
No, they didn't care at all about when they saw it was e-liquid. I explained to them what it was. They were fine. They just wanted me to open it because they weren't sure. They said, well, it says that there's a certain thing in here, but it doesn't look like it. We want to make sure that there's nothing dangerous in there.
Right.
Because I'm sure I would have been fined for sure.
Right.
And they would have obviously confiscated it and disposed of it. You know.
Right.
Otherwise.
That's so funny. I can't wait to talk to him next week.
Well, he's gonna be on. We're gonna be on next week. I haven't decided. I think next Tuesday is gonna be our final show on Tuesday. We may be moving to Mondays to back up Lead Pipe on Monday night. So we might be doing that to switch over to Mondays. So we'll find out. I know we're gonna have one more Tuesday show at least.
Okay.
So guys, we will be back. I'll be back on Tuesday with Crispers. We're gonna get to the bottom of this deal with the package. We're going to talk about this at length, and not only that, don't forget, we're going to be going over the top movies of all time, because my Tuesday show is a little bit different from Thursday, because I do talk about more hodgepodge topics other than vaping. I mean, if people want to talk about vaping a little bit, I will, but I mostly talk about other things, because I want the two shows that I'm doing to be kind of different from each other. So we talk about things. And baby,
That's good.
anytime you want to come on that Tuesday show, talk about us, so you're always welcome. But I know you're busy.
I'll think about it.
I know you're busy, but in case you ever
Yeah.
wanted to pop in and hang out with us a little bit, you can.
I'll think about it. But you know what? Thanks for coming, guys. I really appreciate you guys being on, chatting away with us. And remember, go Patriots, okay? Atlanta sucks, so just remember that. So that's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you to my beautiful
But
lady.
I will say this. There's going to be a giveaway. If the Patriots win, I'm doing a giveaway. So I need everyone to root on the Patriots, okay? You want the Patriots to win. If they win, I'm going to do a giveaway, okay? So make sure.
So guys, hang out, hang loose. In about 5 minutes, No Saints and Wendy are going to be popping on. They're going to be popping on with Home Field Advantage.
All right.
Only here on VU Live. All right, baby, smile
That's
for the picture.
Right. Go Patriots!
Smile for the picture, babe. You're not looking up. There you go. All right, take care, guys. Peace.